hurricane. And the new update has it still at 140 miles per hour. We'll see if that changes in the next several cycles. But whether it does or not, it's still a very powerful Category 4 hurricane, carrying with it all those hazards of storm surge, heavy rain, and damaging winds. In the near term, we know where it's going. We pretty much know where it's going, toward the northwest, toward the coast. But does it actually make landfall in North Carolina, or does it just get real close and carry those damaging winds and that storm surge with it for like an extended period of time? That is certainly a possibility. The guidance is now closing in on this idea that it comes to the coast. I don't know exactly how far offshore, but maybe inland just a little bit, and then back southwestward, right? Preserving at least some of the intensity. If it goes inland and well inland, the wind's going to die down fairly quickly, and then we'd be left with a heavy rain event. But if it just stays off the coast, yeah, it'll weaken a little bit, but it's going to preserve some of those very damaging winds for a long time, way longer than I can remember a hurricane doing anything like that anywhere near the coast. And here's one of the reasons why. A crazy looking pattern aloft, high pressure system over the western Atlantic aloft. The steering pattern around it, this clockwise flow, is not going to let Florence sneak out toward the north. And it may not even let Florence go toward the northwest. It may instead push it back toward the coast of Georgia. What? This is nuts. Look what happens. This is one model, and it's certainly not an unrealistic one, showing you the persistence of the high wind all up and down the coast. And I want people to keep in mind, the forecasts that we have now, like for surge and for rain and for wind, they're all dependent on exactly
Virginia Beach is under a tropical storm warning with
where this thing goes.
Winds of 45 to 50 and gusting to 75.
Change going forward today. Stay updated in the forecast. Jen, back to you.
All right, and so, Greg, we know that water and rainfall and flooding and surge all going to be a very large component of this because it is expected to be a very slow-moving storm. So that's why the evacuations are in place. Look, if we had just a wind threat that was going to, bring the wind threat and move on, you could find shelter. But this is going to bring a water threat, and we know that water is the leading cause of fatalities in landfalling tropical systems. Surge number one, and then you get to inland flooding, and you get to the rip current risk and everything else. And so that's why all of these evacuations are in place. That's why we had the steady stream of cars leaving the coast yesterday, including here in Myrtle Beach. I want to show you how that went yesterday, actually, as we take you out into South Carolina, where thousands of people hit the roads. I know this doesn't look like a lot of traffic, and certainly in the countryside, things move smoothly on Tuesday. But once drivers got near Columbia, South Carolina, they got stuck in a 5-mile backup. Troopers did report that all lanes of 26 westbound between Charleston and Columbia there remain in place with that contraflow setting. So let's talk about the rainfall, since that is the reason, the rain and the surge, the reason for getting people away from the coast and away from the water. I'm here in Myrtle Beach, so we'll start with South Carolina and the rainfall that we're expecting. And this is based on the latest track. So we have a widespread 5 to 6 inch rainfall in the forecast. If that comes all at once, that certainly will be significant and cause significant floodings. We're certainly watching that concern as we get into the Myrtle Beach area and up towards Conway, where I know you're very prone to flooding. A lot of the area rivers, like along the Waccamaw and the Petey, very concerned about flooding with that kind of rainfall as well. But jump up to North Carolina, and where we see the core of Florence and where we see it stay put for a significant number of hours, if not more than a day or two, that's where we're going to see 2 feet of rainfall. And think about this. We just saw about 2 feet of rainfall in parts of Wisconsin, and we showed you the river flooding that happened there. We're going to get that much rainfall. That happened over the course of weeks. This is going to happen over the course of days. So we're very concerned about quick high rises and that flash flooding situation that will ensue.
That's what they're worried about here in Virginia Beach.
Throughout the day on Thursday, those outer bands will start to move in. We'll start to see the rain come down, getting very heavy into Thursday night and into Friday. There is already a high risk of excessive rainfall, of flooding rainfall. And Steph, we don't see many of those high-risk days that come out of the Weather Prediction Center, but now it's for not just Thursday, but also into Friday as well. We know that's pretty significant.
And Jen, that 20 inches of rain in Wisconsin happened over a couple-week period. We could see that over a 4-day period here in coastal Carolina, not to mention the water rise on top of that. So with that said, people are gassing up, people are boarding up, people are heeding the evacuations. Governor Roy Cooper ordered evacuations along the coast. That's where a lot of the mandatory evacuations are located. And stores are selling out of food, water, and supplies.
It's a little bit of a panic right now. Everything is, it does carry on, and it should be somewhat of a panic. But everyone's preparing. It seems like half and half. Some are staying, the other half are leaving. My family's in Florida right now. My brother's family, he's on his way up to Rhode Island, and they're flying, the other half of the family. So I'm the only one here sticking it out. My neighbors are gone, but I have other neighbors that are going to stick it out.
Sorry, guys, it's
But they're preparing for it.
pixelating.
So
Hopefully you're getting a good
nothing
picture.
So realistically, we could see 2 feet of rain. The record was from Floyd, where they saw, I think it was 24.06 inches. We could break that, the wettest tropical system here on record. Hatteras in the Outer Banks here. Again, this is going to be a long duration event from Thursday all the way through Saturday morning. A lot of times these storms, they come in, they're accelerating when they go on the coast. But as Dr. Postel showed you with those 2 high pressures, they basically cancel each other out because they're on either side of the system. So it just sits there. That is not good news, okay? 5 to 8 inches in Hatteras. As you go into Wilmington, we could see, first of all, the surge. It's confusing because we're here on the Cape Fear River, right? Well, that water can get pushed up rivers and bayous, all that sort of stuff. Rain, 12 to 18 inches. I have a feeling we'll be underwater where we're standing right now. Into Wilmington, top water rise 3.49 feet back in 2016. Myrtle Beach, you also could see up to 6 feet of surge, 5 to 8 inches, and that rain Thursday as we head into Sunday. So evacuation zones, speaking of Myrtle Beach, we have them for you here from Myrtle Beach down towards Charleston. Heat evacuations, only if you're told to evacuate. And do it when they tell you, because they kind of spread everything out so that you don't get any clogged issues on the roadways. Jen.
Yeah, today is the day. Look, today is the last day to prepare for Florence. You get a full day out there. And Steph, here in Myrtle Beach, it's zones A, B, and C that are evacuating. Today is the day that you need. Officials are warning people not to ride out the storm. And new this morning, FEMA Administrator Brock Long predicts that Florence could be the most dangerous storm in the history of the Carolinas. 1.5 million people on the move, escaping before Florence traps them.
This is our only vacation this year. We're having to head back today.
This is a very significant storm.
I'm just stressed out to the max thinking, am I going to have a home to come back to?
You never know with Mother Nature what's going to happen.
People jammed home improvement stores for plywood on Tuesday. One final day to board up. One final day to fill sandbags.
We are in a very deadly and important game of chess with Hurricane Florence.
North Carolina's governor predicts Florence will be
intense, likely historic, and deadly. And we're asking people not to try to ride out a monster.
This sign on the Outer Banks marks previous hurricanes. Floyd storm surge, 12 feet in 1999. Hazel at 17 in 1954. Florence promises a similar wall of water. But even so, some won't leave.
We're just going to stay and stick it out.
You're crazy.
Our supplies, the water, the bread, everything that we need just in case we lose power.
I had the money to buy the extra stuff to stay, but I didn't have the money to leave.
Here in Myrtle Beach, we've certainly had experience with our fair share of tropical storms and hurricanes, but we've never had a direct strike. Florence could be the first. Steph, it's an odd angle coming in. Certainly North Carolina right now in that path, direct path, but not out of the question that South Carolina takes a direct hit either.
Not out of the question Georgia takes a direct hit. I mean, we have 3 states that are in play right now. Here's what we know at this hour. President Trump has approved requests for federal funding for the governors of North Carolina and South Carolina. Classes will be canceled starting at 5 p.m. today at Duke and also at UNC. Students at UNC being told to leave Chapel Hill before the storm hits. The campus is closed and classes are canceled at the University of South Carolina. Jim, what do we have coming up next?
Yeah, we are shutting things down, certainly here on the Carolina coast. Georgia, you're included in this as well. Guys, the Weather Channel's got you covered. Our team is spread out all across the coastline. Obviously, we've got 17 crews out right now to cover this for you. We have been live around the clock for a couple of days now. We will continue to do that as we work our way through this storm. It's going to be a long duration event. We will go
Those
through
are
several
pictures
high
of the
tide
last
cycles
ones.
here in Wrightsville Beach, where we will have pounding waves and surge. I mean, I can't even imagine what we're going to go through, but stay with us.
Yeah, that was the last one. Okay, guys, I'll do an update. I am going to put a link to this at the bottom so you guys can track it. God bless. Be safe. Prayers go with you.